RandallMRueff of RandallMRueff, digital and film photography, wedding and event photographer, doesn't do it for the money. He just loves to take pictures. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm RandallMRueff. I'm a ham radio operator. My call sign is K9RMR, or Kilo 9 Romeo Mike Romeo. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is, should a Baofeng handy-talkie be my first ham radio? And the answer to that is, in my opinion, yes. A Baofeng radio should be your first ham radio. Now, I'm going to go into several reasons why this particular radio, or one like it, should be your first radio. Now, this is the 8-watt version. This is the BF-F9 V2 Plus, 8 watts. This cost about $50, and it was on eBay for $63. And eBay had this thing where you can put in a bid of your own, and I put in a bid of $40, and it wasn't accepted. Put in a bid of $45, wasn't accepted. But when I put a bid in of $49, it accepted. So for $49, I got this radio. Now this antenna I have here is a 15-inch whip antenna. It was extra because you can change the antennas on this. So this was a $10 accessory. So basically $50, 60 plus $10 for 60, so 60. So under $60 or approximately $60 for what I got in my hand. Good deal. Keep in mind I got the extended battery. And this little black thing right here is a little protective cover, which is like $1. But this has the extended battery. The smaller battery would come off to about right here, and would be cut right over here. The extended battery comes down all the way down here, which is why this cover is the size it is. It's not designed for the extended battery. It's designed for the standard battery. But anyway, $60, okay? So that's one of the main reasons you should get this radio. Now, they even have cheaper ones. The 5R, BF-5R, or just 5, maybe it's just 5R, I don't know, maybe, which is the 5-watt model, which isn't as powerful, obviously. And that's why I got this one, is because it is a little bit more powerful. It's 8 watts. But the 5-watt model of Baofengs are selling for about $25. So it's very cheap to get a ham radio. Now this is UHF and VHF. There's no HF on here. There's no what they call shortwave. There's none of that. This is UHF and VHF only. But again, for $50, you can't really complain. Let me tell you what you can do with this radio. This will work. The propagation on this radio, and again, it's going to depend on your area. You know, some places you're going to get less, some places you're going to get more, some places you can get a lot more. One of the local repeaters is 12 miles away, and I can easily reach it. I can probably reach 15, maybe 16 miles away based on where I'm at with this radio. So, again, not bad. I can get my AM/FM I can get my FM stations. Like, I listen to 107.3 or 104.9. All those standard radio stations that you get on FM, you can get on this radio. You can get all your NOAA weather stations. So if you're wanting to get your weather for the day or for the week, you can get that. You can program in there. There's actually, 8, 10, or 12? There's like 8, 10. I'm trying to remember if it's 8, 10, or 12 stations. But these 8, 10, I think it's 12 stations. I'd have to look up to be sure. But these 12 different stations are used all over the country. And so if you program in, I think it's 12. I'll have to look to be sure. But if you program in these stations in to your radio, you'll always be able to get a NOAA weather channel. And sometimes you get 2 or 3. For example, I know here we got a Columbus station, got the Indianapolis station. I can pick up both of those pretty good. So you got the weather. You can program in your we got the local railroad trains, the nautical stations, the some of the aviation channels. There's a lot of things you can program into this if you really want to. But I have programmed in the local repeaters, the NOAA channels, the some of the nautical channels, some of the aviation stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can program to it, which is very, very nice. So now, are there radios with a lot more memory? Yeah, you can get several. You can get radios out there now that have 300, 500, 1,000, 2,000 memories, which is a lot more than this one. Though this doesn't do quite that many, but it's got a good memory, so it holds plenty for what I need. Again, would it be nice if it had more? Yeah, sure, why not? This extended battery will last in standby mode only. If you turn it on and just let it have a little display in standby mode, it'll last over 3 days. Now, obviously, if you're transmitting a lot during that, not quite as much. And I have found through recent use that if you get on there and rag chew, or what they call rag chew, which just means you're transmitting a lot, talking to somebody, and you're transmitting a lot, it will get warmer. Even if you're doing enough, it will get hot. Had a conversation the other day with a guy for about a half hour, and we were talking back and forth, and it got pretty warm. In fact, it got hot. So I was sitting here, instead of holding it like this, I was holding it like this. And then when I want to talk, I'll be like this. So it's a good, I'll talk to the cat. She's nuts. It's good for that. I got this little protective cover, which is kind of nice to keep the rain off a little bit better. If I drop it, it kind of protects it too. Yes, this antenna is intrusively big, but when you go to transmit or receive, and you can receive better, it comes with a rubber ducky, which is like about this long. And I got rid of that real quick. You got this. Again, when you transmit, it transmits better. When it receives better. Just overall, it's a good thing. It also has a little light up here. Let's see if we can. You can do it solid. Hit it again. It strobes, which is kind of nice. Okay. It's got a backlit display. Let me show you see the backlit display. Okay, so you can change the colors of the backlit display if you want to. It's got a lot of features. It's really nice as far as ham radios go. Again, if you're doing 2 meters or 70 centimeters, which is a lot of people who just get their technician license is what they're going to do, is 2 meters, which is 144 through 148 megahertz, and 70 centimeters, which is 420 through 450 megahertz. This is a really good radio for that, for both of those. So if you're just have just got your tech license or thinking about getting your tech license, this is the way to go. There are radios that do everything this does and a lot more, but normally they cost a lot more. Again, $50, $10 for the extra antenna. I'm very happy with this radio. Now, it doesn't do anything digital. It doesn't do D-Star, doesn't do DMR, doesn't do Fusion. That is one of the drawbacks. With the changing technological environment and with the different digital modes. It doesn't do any of the digital modes. You can't do Morse code with it. There's no way to do Morse code through this. You can plug in an external mic right here, which I have, but I never use. You can plug that in. Let's see what else I want to tell you about. But it's a good little radio. And like I said, if you just want to listen to the radio, like your FM stations, listen to music, that's fine. For ham radio use, that's fine. It's also got FRS if you want to program your family band. Like if you got one of these little cheap radios like this that has the FRS channels on it. You can program this radio to talk to this radio back and forth. Keep in mind, this is going to be a lot more powerful than this. So keep that in mind. This is going to be more powerful for several reasons. One, it has a higher output, and two, it has a bigger antenna. The smaller antenna and the less power is why this little radio right here is even cheaper. I got this at a garage sale, so it's real cheap, like under $1 for 2 of them. But you can buy these new for about $20, $25. You get like a pair of them for $25. So if you want, one for you, one for a friend, or your wife, or your kids, or whatever, you can do that. Now, keep in mind, if you're not licensed, using a ham radio to broadcast is illegal, and they can track you if they want to. Some people have the equipment to do that, and are interested in doing that, and will do that. Now, keep in mind, unless it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, you can get on and say, "Hey, help! I'm wherever I am. I need help. So and so's happened. Please send help." And that's allowed. But keep in mind, it needs to be a legitimate emergency. If somebody's arm got cut off, or somebody's going to die, or you found somebody laying on the road, that's a real emergency. I'm not talking about, send help when needs some extra beer or something, something like that. That's not an emergency. If it's for legitimate emergency use, you're allowed to use it. Aside from that, if you're using ham frequencies, you need to have a license. Now, there are frequencies on here, like the FRS channels, that don't need a license. You can not only listen to, but broadcast. Now, let me say something again. With or without a ham license, you can listen to anything you want to on here. Any of the ham frequencies, any of the FRS, GMRS, the nautical stations, the aviation channels, the train channels, all that is available to listen to. But if you're going to broadcast on the certain channels, you need to have a license. The ham frequencies require a license. The GMRS is supposed to have a license. The FRS doesn't require a license, which is, again, those little handy tires I just showed you that you get at Walmart or Target for $25 for 2 of them. You don't have to have a license for that. So that's FRS, which is Family Radio Service. GMRS, you're supposed to get a license for. It's like a 5-year license. You pay some money for it. Ham license, you have to renew every 10 years. And it's a good deal to get one if you're going to buy one of these. Or if you're going to get into ham radio and you want to start off, it's a good place to start. So that's what I would have to say about this little radio. Again, I've had this for over a year now. I've been a ham operator for not quite 2 years. And like I said, I've had this little radio for about approximately a year, maybe a little bit longer. And it's done me pretty good. It's not perfect. It's got some flaws. But overall, it's pretty good. Especially when you consider the price. And I'll probably have this until I know how for some time. Because I plan to take care of it. But the thing is, if you don't take care of it, you lose it. It's not a big investment. But it's, I'm to the point where I paid money for this. When I pay for something, I want it to last. And I'm doing my best to protect it. With this little plastic cover here, protect it a little bit, and I try to take care of it. It's been dropped on the floor or on the ground several times, and it's still doing pretty good. So I recommend it. So the Baofeng BF-F9 V2 Plus, or any other Baofeng, whether it's 5 watts or 8 watts, I'd go with the 8 watts to get a little bit more power. That's just me. But I recommend it overall. Again, got some downfall sides, but overall, for a beginner radio, this is the way to go. If you're just getting into it, or let's say you're getting into ham radio and you're not sure if you really want to go past, you don't want to spend a lot of money until you're sure you really want to get into it. This is a good way to go. If you're not sure if you want to go out and buy you a $2,000 radio or a $1,500 radio like this 7300, ICOM 7300, or the ASU 991A, or a Kenwood with $1,500 or $2,000. This is a good place to start, and I would recommend this radio. So, With that in mind, I'll leave you with that, and I'll say, I hope this video has been informative and educational, and maybe it'll help you decide, A, whether you're getting into ham radio. If you are getting into ham radio, a good way to get started with radios in ham radio. And I'll say thanks for watching. Have a good day. God bless. 73. This is RandallMRueff. That's K9RMR or Kilo 9 Romeo Mike Romeo saying 73, and I am clear. Hope you're hearing on the radio.